Hey there, everyone. Just trying to get all the buttons going, all the buttons, all the platforms. See if anybody is here this morning on this Friday, March 14th. Hello, everybody. I'm Laurie Barraco, and I welcome you to this week's live. And we're going to talk about some of the energies that we are all experiencing at this time between full moons, lunar eclipses, Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, and just lots of changes happening for everyone. So hello and welcome. If you can see me, hear me, let me know, please, friends. I see that I'm live here on Instagram on the Mystical Moon page, and I'm here in a couple places. So I'll just wait for the hello and the validation from somebody out there in the world that they can see me. Okay, I see heart, so you can see me and hear me. Hello and welcome. All right, so I'm going to share the link for the blog with this content, with the content that I'm going to be reviewing a little bit. It's so funny how you can put the information in one area, and then like it's like a short little blog, but meanwhile there's so much energy that's happened. Like there's so much that's going on these days. Hey everybody, good morning. Okay, now I see everybody. Boop boop. All right, I see something. There we go. I think everybody has, like I see the link popped up. I see something's in error, but oh well. Hey, good morning. Hey. Hi, everybody. Welcome. And if you're watching afterwards, hello, my friends. So before we get into things, I did want to talk about the different events that we have going on here at the shop, online and in person. So I know that's telling me that's an error, but I'm going to ignore it. Why not? Mercury retrograde. Go figure. Let's see here. So next week, the third week of the month, we have so much taking place. We have something going on almost every night. So I tell my husband, I'll see you next week. So Tuesday, we do have Pam's Reiki Circle this month. She's focusing on the sacral chakra, and that event is full. We have a waiting list right now with that event. Wednesday, we have Reverend Michelle Love's Evening Circle at 6:30, from 6:30 to 8 here at the shop. Thursday, we have Candace's channeling in the store, in the shop, and online via Zoom. Then Friday, I'm hosting my crystal bowl meditation at 6:30. And then Saturday, I'm hosting a psychic development class here at 11 a.m. And we are focusing on the angelic realm. For all of the information and for more details, you can go to the website at themysticalmoon.com, as well as calling the front desk. They will be more than happy to help you out as well. Hey everybody, good morning. So I see some questions already. So yeah, the full moon, the effects on the lunar energy is going to have a different, everybody's going to have a different relatable reaction and an experience based upon your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising, and all of the things. So, and where Virgo is in your chart, where Pisces in your chart, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, it hits everybody differently between the full moon, Mercury retrograde, the eclipses, and Venus retrograde. It all hits us differently based upon our soul's path, our consciousness, our astrological chart, even I would say even your human design chart. All is going to hit us differently. And it also depends on your path, what season you're in with your soul journey, right? For some of us, some of the hiccups are with our health. For some of us within our journey, it has to do with family stuff. For other people, our careers. For other people, feeling overwhelmed and depressed. So it's all going to hit us differently. Yes. And yes, my friend says, yes, I felt it, that this one gives me more feeling positive, right? So some people may be having a little bit of a chaotic experience, and because buttons are being pushed, and where they're at on their journey, and other people like, this one was a breeze for me. So we're just going to kind of feel it out, right? Yes. All right, I'm just going to click over here quickly to Instagram to make sure. Okay, I could see my friends here. And Janet on Instagram says it's been a rough one. Yeah. For some people it really has been. And so, don't there's no miraculous fix for getting through the difficult stuff other than try to be present, use your smudge, use your sage, use your Palo Santo, do those cord cuttings, get outside in nature, connect with nature and the elements. Sometimes it helps to kind of go a little bit more into hermit mode. If you're not able to do that, then make sure you have time and space to center yourself, to recalibrate yourself, to realign yourself with where you are at within your journey. And yes, sometimes it hits us in a surprising way, more so than other ways. Yes. I'm just going to check in with some of the comments. Hello. And Donna found me. Yay. Good. I'm so glad. So I will also reiterate, if you sign up for the newsletter, so my Laurie Barraco newsletter on my lauriebarraco.com, there's a pop-up for a newsletter there. There's also one on the mysticalmoon.com, and that's where I send out weekly newsletters. I try to send them out for the Mystical Moon on Sunday mornings, and then with my newsletter, might be Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. We'll see. I also, by the way, will include I was a podcast guest. I was invited to join Susan Dentino on her podcast, and that aired on Wednesday. And I shared the link in my newsletter. I think I put it on social media. I'm not going to go searching for it right now, but I'll also add the link to that in the Mystical Moon newsletter for Sunday. All right. Awesome. Good morning. Hey, Christine. Good morning. And then Donna says, I just know I'm glad to be home safe and sound. February was a bitch. Yeah, it could, I felt like it's sometimes we wake up and it's like, what does this day have in store for me? Let's wait and see. We definitely here at the shop have experienced the pre-retrograde glitches with the electronics. Fingers crossed. We've got some things figured out with the receipt paper thing, the internet, all the electronics. I had some car trouble, right? So I dealt with some car trouble stuff, which kind of came out of nowhere. But anyway, so that's all fixed now. We just get a new car. Not in the plans, but anyway, so some people have been having things break, some people delays, some people, their health, some things have popped up with this Virgo energy, the full moon in Virgo. Their health has kind of been challenged, their well-being. Some people very emotional, right? Some people are really they're struggling to find some balance and to ground themselves. So just know that wherever you're at, that you have an army within you, around you, etherically and physically. You do have people here too to support you, but don't forget that you are stronger than what you think. You're more connected than what you may believe, and there is help. What oftentimes in a session, what comes through for some people is you don't know how bad, how much worse it could have been, right? So I know sometimes when you're thick of it, yeah, whatever, it's pretty horrible, but we don't know what we just avoided, right? We're not privy always to all of that. And just checking in on some of my comments here. So 1010, that's right. Is it Chanley or Shanley? Chanly. And hey, Barb, good morning. Finally feeling a bit lifted. Good. Has been a rocky road for a while. Just ordered some Florida water. I've got your order. It's going to be sent down today. That we love the tapped in Florida water created by Priscilla. We've already gone through quite a bit of it already, and I love it. It's a nice variation from your traditional OG Florida water. This one has been created with organic ingredients. It has a really beautiful aroma, and you could just feel the shift in your energy. It kind of takes the Florida water to a whole other level. I want to say it has a little bit more of that mystical, witchy vibe in it. I love it. Yes, and I use it all the time. I said it right the first time. Chanley. I think I said Chandler. I don't remember which one I said first, friend. I'm so sorry. It is a beautiful Friday. All right. Chanley. I think I said Chanley. All right. So I'm going to start sharing some of the material from the blog that I posted. The link here. I'm going to post that link again. Thank you. All right. So Chanley. So if you're watching on Instagram, I'm not able to post a link there, but if you go, sorry, bangs will be done Monday. I will, whatever it takes. Like, don't just cut your bangs and don't ask your significant other to cut them if they're not a hairstylist. I don't know if I don't want to. I am going to say it. There was that time, like a long time ago, a couple years ago, where I needed a bang trim. I was just like, because Jim's great. He cuts a lot. He cuts my son's hair, does a beautiful job. But I have weird hair, right? So here I go on a different tangent, but that's okay. And I said, can you just trim this part here? And he was trimming, and then he's like, wait, I need to even this out. And I said, I think you need to stop. I think you need to stop cutting. Stop cutting. So then what happened is I had baby bangs for a little while. So you probably saw that a couple of years ago. And it took a few months, and my hairstylist said, Jen said, oh yeah, we won't have to trim those for a while. And she said, you know what she said, which I do know it's true. They never grew back the same. My bangs never grew back the same. How weird is that, right? Like they're just different now, whatever. But so if I'm fussing with them, I'm so sorry. But anyway, and hey, for some people, they're able to rock the baby bangs. I'm not one of them. Okay, so back to the material. So if you go to the mysticalmoonstore.com, in the blog section, you will find this blog about the energies we're experiencing. And we're going to continue with this ripple of this energy. So there you go. Okay, sorry, I just got on a little tangent. I apologize. Okay, so this is we've already, some people did get up for the eclipse. I did not. So it was early this morning, but we've got the full Virgo blood moon lunar eclipse. We've got Mercury retrograde. So I'm going to talk about some of these energies here within this blog. So March is bringing us a powerful cosmic trifecta. Actually, it's more than a trifecta because you've got Mercury, Venus retrograde. I don't know what that is for the 4. Anyway, a blood moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, which is today, March 14th, Mercury retrograde from the 14th to the 7th. Then we have the partial solar eclipse in Aries on March 29th, with so much going on. It's a time of deep, listen to me, friends, deep transformation, release, and realignment. If you've been feeling extra sensitive, restless, and like you're standing at a crossroads, trust that the universe is nudging you towards something better aligned with your highest path. So we're going to break it down a little bit. So with this full moon today in Virgo, it's no ordinary full moon. It's a blood moon and a lunar eclipse, making its effects even more potent. So Virgo's energy is meticulous, analytical, and focused on healing, organization, and self-improvement. This is a powerful time for letting go of perfectionism, releasing self-doubt, and clearing out what no longer serves you, both physically and energetically. And since eclipses bring fated changes and revelations, you may find old patterns resurfacing and relationships shifting, or new opportunities appearing seemingly from out of nowhere. So trust the process. So what can you do? Declutter your space to invite fresh energy. Journal about what you need to release and burn the paper under the full moon. Ground yourself with a nature walk or meditation. Work with crystals like moss agate for grounding, selenite for clarity, and or black obsidian for protection and release. Then I'm going to go into talking about Mercury retrograde, which is today till April 7th. Mercury retrograde, a time of technology glitches, miscommunications, and travel hiccups seem to be at their peak. With this since this retrograde is spanning from Pisces and Aries, we may feel both emotionally reflective and impulsively driven to take action, right? It's like, that's it. oh, I'm going to do this, right? So we do want to kind of like dial it back a little bit so that we're not overdoing it and not making irrational decisions and cutting off our nose to spite our face because we're charged up and we're like, oh. The key is to pause, rethink, and reassess before making major decisions. Mercury retrograde isn't out to get us. It's not out to get us, friends. It's here to help us slow down and refine our plans before moving forward. How we navigate through it, double check all communications before sending and thinking about it when with receiving. Make backup plans, backup important files and give yourself extra time for travel. Reflect on past lessons rather than rushing into new commitments, right? So maybe it wasn't so bad. Maybe I don't need to change this all up because it's coming up again. Just a lot of reflection there. Use crystals like aquamarine or anything blue for clear communication, fluorite for mental clarity, and labradorite for intuition and protection. Then we're going to talk about, I'm just going to switch over here quickly and just see what the comments are here. So Joe says, yep, this month is all about working on yourself in all aspects. Absolutely, my friend. Nicole says, Virgo rules pets, and I was up all night with 2 puking Frenchies. Ugh. But on the bright side, I was up to see the eclipse. Hey, right? Hey, bonus. Yeah, I know. Knock wood somewhere. My 2 little Frenchies, hopefully they're all good. Yeah. They were puking the other night. It was their turn the other night. Yeah. Oh, at least you got to see the eclipse. That's beautiful. And I did want to talk about and on kind of piggyback with what Joe was saying about self-care. So if you already work with self-healing, like energy modalities, if you've been attuned to Reiki or any type of healing modality, some people it's EFT, some people I can't even think of the other ones right now, but just any type of like energy healing where you are able to focus on the healing aspects and channel that energy for yourself, right? If you've been attuned to at least Reiki 1, you're going to know about the different positions and channel and bring that light through for yourself and having the light hit all the areas. And I did want to mention if Reiki 1, right? That's where you learn where you have the symbols put in your auric field, and you learn more about the natural healing energy that we all possess and connecting to the universal healing energy. Pam is teaching a Reiki 1 class on April 13th here at the shop. So there is that. But you don't have to take classes, but even taking a moment to work with the self-care rituals to plug in and bring in more light into your being. My guides are laughing at me because here I'm talking, I always use my hands, and they're saying I'm a brave little soul with this moldavite, working with moldavite at this time. I thought, oh, it kind of matches with my outfit, but they're kind of snickering at me like, okay. Shoot. Isn't it something when you hear it in your head, and we all hear the voice or voices that say, hey, just like be mindful of that. Are you sure you want to accelerate some of that right now? Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, I'm going to check with some of the comments here. So Nicole says, that's so funny. My manager said her Frenchie Allah was puking last night. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Maybe they've got some emotional stuff going on with this full moon and everything. Yeah, maybe they're very sensitive little beings and they're feeling it as well. Yeah. I know, Joe, about the moldavite. They're like, what are you thinking? But okay, go for it. I thought you said you wanted to try to like keep things really grounded. Anyway, so let's talk about shifting gears to Venus retrograde, which has been March 1st to April 12th. Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and finance, is also in retrograde, bringing deep introspection around relationships, self-worth, and financial decisions. During this period, unresolved emotional wounds may resurface, and we may feel the need to redefine our values and love, money, and personal fulfillment. This is not the best time for major financial investments or drastic beauty changes, but it is the perfect time for reevaluating how we give and receive love. So, how can we work with this energy? Embrace it, harness it, ride the wave of it. So, reflect on past relationships and what lessons they have taught you. Avoid impulsive financial decisions and focus on financial planning instead. Engage in self love rituals to boost confidence and self worth. Work with crystals like rose quartz for love and compassion, rhodonite for emotional healing, and green aventurine for abundance and luck. Now, coming up in a couple of weeks, there's a partial solar eclipse in Aries, which is March 29th. The solar eclipse is the solar eclipse in bold Aries is the cosmic push we've been waiting for. Aries energy is fiery, courageous, and pioneering, making this eclipse a catalyst for new beginnings. If you've been feeling stuck or unsure of your next move, expect a surge of confidence and clarity. You may feel an urge to take charge in your life, start a new project, or redefine your path. Ooh, right? It's kind of exciting. Since eclipses can be intense and unpredictable, it's important to act from alignment rather than impulse. Again, we see a theme here, right? Act with intention. Take your time. Don't just like make split decisions because you are feeling the emotions of everything. Okay. I'm going to check in with some of the comments here. So, Christine, so April 13th is my birthday. Doo-doo-doo. Woo woo. So, I do want to say this. So, Ray Seti, who is my semi-annual, so twice a year guest who hasn't been in town for a couple of years, but because of logistics, but he will be back in a couple of weeks. So Ray reached out to me because my birthday was 2 days before this eclipse, and he said, I just realized that your birthday is 2 days before the full moon eclipse, lunar eclipse and all that. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. So it is a significant thing when your birthday is around a full moon or an eclipse, that the energy is enhanced around that time. So just know that, keep that in the back of your mind, right? So eclipses bring to the surface what's ready to be shifted, like what your soul is saying, we're complete with this. We don't need to deal with this anymore. Look, I'm showing you that this right here doesn't serve you anymore. So let's move it. We're going to help you usher it out to make room for the upgrade, for the new alignment with your conscious that better fits with your aligns with your consciousness and where you're at with your belief systems and your perspectives. So it truly is a blessing. It just is that they can be a little bit abrupt, and usually when it starts happening, we say, I knew that, but maybe I wasn't ready to do this yet, or it wasn't the timing. And so here we go, right? There it is. It's like, well, Spirit says now is the time, like now, like putting us on the spot. And so Barb says animals have to release too. That's right. Yep, I agree. They've got to release. And why wouldn't they feel that energy, right? Yeah. That's right. And Angela says spring is in the air and change is here. I agree, right? So just like my grandmother used to say, better out than in. So let's let it go if it's time and it's not serving. And our soul says, we're complete. No, really, we're good. We don't need to have this experience because you know what? There's something that's more fulfilling and more in alignment with what your contracts are in this lifetime. All right. So let me hop on over here to more of my notes. Okay, so working with the energy, of this partial eclipse that's coming up. So set bold intentions for what you want to create in your life. I don't think I read this yet. Take inspired action toward your goals, but remain open to shifts. Release fear of change and trust that new doors will open. Work with crystals like carnelian for courage, sunstone for optimism, and red jasper for stability. Notice they're the orangey reddish, so they're grounding, their creativity. They work with these lower chakras to get things moving. get the ball rolling and align with our creativity and to create a new foundation for ourselves that is more in alignment with the potential of who we are and where we're at. So here are some final notes, my friends. Trust the process. And with so many celestial movements happening at once, this is a time of deep transformation. Old chapters are closing and new ones are beginning. While the energy may feel intense, trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should be. The key is to stay grounded, open, and intentional. Intentional. That is thinking things through. Learn, as if you didn't know, right? Learn into your spiritual practices, lean into your spiritual practices, listen to your intuition, and remember that you're always supported by the universe. So we can do this, my friends. We can do this. So if you're feeling like things are kind of jumbled up and there's so much going on, you're not imagining it. And if you have like a smooth ride right now, just really enjoy it and embrace it. And maybe well, I feel like still still lean into your self-care practices, right? Still take care of yourself, still run that energy. I think sometimes we think, well, things are chaotic. Now I need an energy session. Now I better run, do something. Like in these sweet spots, it still is a good time if you have a regular routine of cleansing and shifting your energy or meditating or saging. It still is a good time to do that. It's still a beautiful time to do that, right? So just keep that in mind. Okay, so let's see if there are any comments or questions about what the material that I just had gone over. And then I'm going to grab my cards for to see if there are any questions from anybody watching live. So while I wait for the delay to, filter through if there are any questions or comments, I have really been hearing the call of the crow. So I'm using the crow deck. I've been using the crow deck for a while, and I am starting to integrate the crow deck with my sessions as well. And for myself personally as well too. The crows are just really wonderful guardians. They're very protective. They're very loyal. They do not forget. They will bring you presents. They will talk to you. I don't know whom I've shared this with, but I've shared it with a couple of people. I watched the other day as someone was outside and there were a bunch of crows around. And he went around and he just was like stomping, like trying to scare them. And I just said, oh my gosh, you're in for it. You are like, they are not going to forget that. And get ready, buddy. You do have no idea what you just did, because they won't forget. They're going to probably poop on his car and like dive bomb him and all that. I was like, what are you doing, buddy? That's going to like naughty. And because the crows, and I don't know what a group of crows is. I don't know. Anyway, so like the whole flock, yeah, they were all like, ah, I was like, ah. So I went inside and I just thought, But anyway, the crows are very magical and they're mystical. And as I mentioned, they are the guardians and they are the witnessers of what we experience. And they can help us with navigating through the different realms as well. So it is a murder of crows. Okay, I was wondering if that was, and I thought, well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Thank you, Nicole. All right, so I am first going to pull a card for our collective group here, and then we'll see what happens. First of all, this is the first, card. It is a message from the crows. So by the way, I ordered more decks. So if you are wanting to purchase this deck, I think we have one left in the shop, but I ordered a few more and that shipment is coming in today. This is the crow deck by MJ Cullinane, gorgeous deck. So the energies for this next week, from according to the crow's message for all of us, is the 5 of Wands reverse. So rather than going against the flow, just try to get in the flow. Acknowledge, be intentional, pay attention to what is being presented, pay attention to where you're really, really, really hitting like roadblock after roadblock. Right now, I will say that sometimes we're supposed to have a roadblock because, right, we need to put a little bit more effort. We want to make sure that this is the path we really want to go down. But sometimes roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, as Spirit's saying, oh my gosh, will you get in the flow? We're trying to help you steer this thing. You're asking and praying for help, and yet you're not listening. So the crows are saying that find the flow, get in your flow. The flow is, it's like right there. The flow is right there. Get in there intentionally. Even if you have to take a moment and say, let me step into the flow. Let me intentionally step into this flow. And then absorb it, soak it up, use a visualization, whatever you need to do to intentionally get into that flow and ask Spirit to help to support you with your path. And so, let me just check out some of the comments here. So, Lana says, the same little bird is always on my screen on my lanai. Yep. And so talk to them, continue to talk to them, whether telepathically or with your voice. And Nicole says, they pass by my house at dawn and dusk every day. Oh, that's so magical. I love it. Lisa says, I've been watching and hearing a lot of birds in my yard. It's a stopover from migration, maybe not. Maybe there's a message. Are there any messages from the birds for me? I will check it out. And so Anne says, I had a large crow land on my fence outside my window a bit before you started. I've never seen them before, right? So there's the mythology of the crow. There are a lot of stories. What is your relationship with the crows? Let's see. Right? Let's see what they are here to teach, what they are to teach you, to guide you through, to support you. Okay. And Angela says that sometimes the outside forces take the attention from the flow. So then a suggested inquiry would be like, why is that happening? What is that? Or what is that? What is going on there? Is it a belief system? Is it that I need to work on reprogramming some of my thoughts around this? Is it that I need to create healthy boundaries? Is it not the right time, right? So there are different things to check in with yourself about those situations, for sure. All right. I gotta just look at some of the comments here. I see a really awesome comment here. So Steph says, did you say full moon borns are more likely to feel things stronger? Absolutely. If you were born on a full moon, yeah, that energy is going to be enhanced even more so. And oh my goodness, hold on here. I want to make sure I'm still streaming. I see on Instagram I'm a little bit frozen, but I'm sure I will unfreeze in a minute. Hopefully. Also, I do see that my friend says that you're welcome. She says, thank you for my friend living for the rescues. Thank you for the stone you recommended and shared with for fertility. I became pregnant shortly after, and you're 17 weeks along. Congratulations, my friend. Congratulations. I'm so excited for you and your family. And Roxanne says, interestingly, I am seeing many hawks on my property, 4 circling yesterday, one at a time. So they definitely are connecting with you. And Janet says, mourning doves building a nest at my bedroom and crows destroyed it. Okay, well, that's a little sad. Oh my gosh. I'm sad to hear that, right? So maybe they needed to move, maybe it's a sign the crows are sending that, okay, the mourning period is over. Like, I know I'm not glossing over what happened with the nest, but maybe that is very significant, a significant message, loud and clear from the crows, like your mourning of a situation needs to be done. And then Angie says, I had a big brown thrasher bird come to me this week, not at you, but to you, right? Hopefully. All right. So, and Barb says that the usual three that come are Russell, Corn Pop, and Hoppingbird. Wow, look at you knowing the name of those birds. All right, so I'm going to be answering some questions until 11 o'clock. I think Joe's the first one I saw. Oh, no, it was Anne. And my application to begin receiving Social Security seems to be stalled midway through the process. Ugh, don't even get me started. When might I expect to have it approved and start receiving benefits? So I am going to say this, and you don't have to be psychic to know this, that there are a lot of things that are going on, and like glitches in the system and paperwork and the processing and the organizations. And I am so sorry you're experiencing this. Then we're going to add the eclipses, we're going to add the retrogrades and all of that. However, I pulled a card for you. So this is the Seven of Pentacles. So there is progress that has been made, and it's going to continue. Right off the bat, I feel like you're looking at like a 4-month journey with this. Because there haven't been backup plans for all of the changes. Like I felt like there were abrupt changes, and there weren't, like, things weren't thought through before the processes started happening, before the changes were implemented. It's like cut. And then like backup plans weren't put into place because they didn't know, or they didn't think it through, or they didn't consult with others. So there was harsh reactions, harsh action. There you go. Harsh action. So let's give it, so there's progress. However, let's give it like 4 more months. Okay. All right. I'm going to flip over here to Instagram. Hey, Instagram friends. Let's see if I saw a question here. So Janet's question was, I need to know when I can expect relief from my living situation. When? Well, first and foremost, you know that you can shift your reaction. That can also help you with changing your experience, right? I'm going to ask a quick question on Instagram. Like, I'm looking and I see myself frozen there, but I think that you can still see me and hear me, correct, on Instagram? I hope. So back to Janet. You can change your reaction, and that will change your experience, right? That can change your relief. You can also create more stress within the situation based upon where you focus your energy and your reaction. So I do think being proactive and look and making some goal, like writing down, having some intentional goals for yourself with timing and how things will look, and maybe using a little bit of Virgo's practical applications with what is required, what do I need, what needs to be in place for me to be able to have some shifts and changes within my current situation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So within 6 months, during this journey, within the next 6 months, it does look like there's some change. Now, this is the 7 of Swords. There's more that's going to come to light. And I felt like the truth, things will be revealed. Like there's more of things being more out in the open, which will kind of force the hand of what's going on. So let's see how you can manage what you're dealing with right now, the current circumstances, how you can align yourself to be in a healthier place with all that's going on. So Anne says that's kind of what I expected, but it's good to have an idea of when to look for things to finally happen. Okay, good. I'm glad that made sense. Okay, thank you, Roxanne. You can hear me and see me. Thank you. All right, I'm going to check out the next question here as I toggle over here. I believe I saw Joe. I saw you, Joe, and welcome back from the land of the Isle of the Apples, Avalon, Glastonbury, Europe, England. I hope you had a wonderful time. I know you did. All right. So, a card for you. Everything is still in the planning stages, and crows literally followed us everywhere in England. A group is called a murder. Thank you. All right. You have the Five of Wands. So this was the card that was pulled earlier, right? This is the card that I had pulled for the collective group reading, the Five of Wands. So that message applies for you as well. You've got to, not got to, but the flow. What does your flow look like? And by the way, I felt like your flow is not over there. It moved to over here. So it's where you're channeling your energy. And so where things are moving along and where there's like, that like, okay, this is kind of just plugging along. And okay, that's where spirit is suggesting that you embrace that flow, settle into that energy in that subject matter, that portion of your life, and enjoy it at this time where I also feel that it would be so helpful for you to maybe reflect upon where you were this time last year. So wherever you were at this time last year, like think about that. I felt like things have settled down. You're not as stressed. There's a nice rhythm that has come into play we reflect upon where we are now to where you were last year at this time. It's like, wow, like that reflection shows us how things fell into place and where what I was really struggling with, well, that turned out to be a nothing thing. And where maybe something that you thought was no big deal turned out to be something, right? So maybe a little bit of that reflection and always review of how things came together versus how you thought it was supposed to come together. That's a big one, right? How we think things should manifest and how it's all going to come together is not always how that happens. And this is for everybody too, right? So when we hear a message for someone else, it may resonate with us and for us as well. All right, so I'm going to go back to Instagram, and I feel like there's another question in here somewhere. So this is a question from my friend living for the rescues. How can I help my adult son who suffers from anxiety? Hearing breathing, intentional breathing, being present breathing. It's the pause, it's the breathing, it's being brought into the moment and not getting too far ahead. It's reflecting upon what caused me this anxiety, what's going on. I feel like your son is kind of open to energy. They talk about discussion around energy, and sometimes sometimes we can get overwhelmed by being in big crowds with a lot of people who may have intense energy. I feel like the practice of where he needs to be able to stop, pause, and disconnect from other people is really an important practice for him. He needs to go and we could call it unwinding. He needs to be able to go and have his unwinding space and time, and that will help him. That is what I'm getting for him. That's how you can help him, is have that discussion. This is the card I have, is the Knight of Swords, where also I feel that Spirit's advising him to choose his battles, that he doesn't need to engage when people are like, I feel like there's a lot of that's going on around him in his environment, whether it's school or work, where the people are kind of intense, and that really bothers him. But there's a way he can learn how to not allow himself to be pulled into that energy, to create some type of healthy disconnect with his environment. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we've got here. And I'm just checking out Joe's comment. Yeah, things are in flow, which is super nice. And yes, how things do come together is also super interesting. Absolutely. All right. So I'm going to then go to another question here. So there was Joe's. Lisa has a question. Are there messages from the birds for me? Of course there's a message. Let's see. Oh, you mean from the ones in your yard? Yeah, no, I felt like they're. The message I'm getting for you, and I have a card here as well, but with all of the birds that are around you, excuse me, has to do with the chatter that's going on all around you. And I'm hearing that there's some deflection that's going around with other people. Like there's a lot of noise and no all talk, no action, deflection, distraction, just a lot of yat, 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 yat. And to maybe like read between the lines between what's being said and not said with all of that blah, 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 all that chatter. I just feel like your intuition is trying to tell you that some of the situations around you like aren't quite like there's not a match with what's being said or being projected to what's really taking place, or and the word avoidance is really coming up around all of that. So you have the Page of Swords reversed. Aha. So there is definitely the influence or the energy with like a group. I feel like it's more than one person of not wanting to acknowledge something. It's like, nope, 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 no way, nope, nope. And I just see that. And it's like, you're like, yeah, but so they're not paying attention, they're in denial, and your job is not always to show people where they're not seeing things accurately, like with what really is taking place, even though it's right in front of them. So there's kind of that energy. So the birds, all those birds are just like they're showing you, like there's distraction going on, and to listen to the army that's within you of your helpers, your guides, your higher self, like it's telling you something's a little wonky and off. I'm going to see if that resonates. And my friend Living for the Rescue says, yes, your son is very open. Yep, and he's a crystal child. Absolutely. So that may help him a little bit more discussion around that. So just wait a moment for my friend here, Lisa. Okay, yep, that's validated. So yes, loud chatter. I have to turn things off to hear. There you go, right? So let me just refocus with what's going on here. What's being said and not said. It's very important. Okay, so let me scroll up here to see. This one's from Barb, wondering if you should reconnect with your strange sister and old friend. Not right now, I'm hearing. Wait till Mercury retrograde goes by, passes by. That is what I'm hearing. And right, we're also still in that Venus retrograde, which is about relationships. So the questions that I'm hearing for you are to reflect upon. If I were to reconnect with my sister right now, what would that look like? What are why are we estranged? What's going on there? Is she set to a certain set of beliefs, and we like, did we always get along? And do I feel like I should reconnect with her because she's my sister, because it's what my parents would want, which I do believe your parents would want more of acceptance of, this is who we are, you two are different, And um, I would work with the intentional prayer of, if it's for the highest and best good of all, for us to reconnect, my sister, my friend, if a reconnection is for the highest and best good of all, where there's a common healthy meeting ground for all, for us, for me and this person, that spirit help with creating a coordinated effort of synchronicity and alignment, and that flow in a way, and I will recognize and embrace the signs, and I'll take that segue, I'll act upon the segue with spirit coordinating that. If it's not for the highest and best good, then I'm just going to pause and leave it as it is, and your parents understand. I feel like this whole thing is like, well, we're related, and sometimes there's more frustration in trying to connect when there's not a healthy meeting in between place, common ground. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that there. I feel like you should, like, oh, I didn't pull a card too. I'll pull one right in the middle. Judgment. Yeah. So this is also this is Libra. I was gonna say Sag. Somebody is Sagittarius, Barb. But anyway, so judgment. So we're not quite having the same version of the story. We don't agree upon the storyline and the turn of events. We are on different pages. So this is not the time to do that, I don't think. Not right now, especially like with the potential for miscommunication, and then asking yourself the questions, right? Should I? Why do I want to reconnect? Do I miss her? Do I feel like I should? Or is it healthy? Is it not healthy for either party? So just wait for your reaction there. Oh, got it. You're a Sag. Okay. Yep. There you go. So you're the Sag. So let's just wait a little bit, my friend. Okay. Just feel into it, move into it. You can always send loving prayers and energy and healing. And I know you are I believe a Reiki master. So work on some of those symbols, the karmic symbols, to bring light into send light to the whole relationship scenario, and put it in this bubble of light, and just send lots of healing and love. Because I do believe, at least for you, I do believe that at the end of the day, whatever a loved one, whether you're talking, whether you're in constant communication or not, I know you would be there. That's who you are. So I feel like she knows that, your parents know that. It just is that we don't have a lot in common at this time. So I just feel like it's better to just leave it be. Okay. At this time. Doesn't mean there won't be a reconnection, which I do think that there's like an event or something, a birthday, something that may come up that it feels pleasant. And we don't need to go deep. Like, we don't need to talk about the heavy duty stuff. I think as long as we avoid those subjects right now, it's best. You're welcome. Okay, let's see. I'm scrolling. There's Francis. Hey, Francis. You're semi-retired, thinking about what is next for you, and your intuition is making you feel you have an unfinished purpose in this lifetime. How do I figure this out? Well, I know that our purpose changes based upon where we're at within our journeys, with whatever chapters we are living and experiencing. And yes, your purpose will change, right? Like at one time, your purpose was to be an elementary student and to live life with the environment, your family, and so on and so forth. Then there's another point in our life. Maybe it's our first job. That's the season, and the purpose is being and experiencing the work field and being responsible for our own bills and so on and so forth. So at this time, I think it's really helpful. It would be really helpful for you to pay attention to where your energy, where you get really excited and where you're feeling lit up and where you're thriving. I mean, those are always the biggest signposts of like watching where your energy increases and when it decreases, when you're in flow, when you're not in flow, when you're inspired, when you're not inspired. And what I am hearing from spirit is that right now for you, it's about balance and carving out time to do nothing. You know, when with people who are creatures of habit, and we have our routines, that sometimes being able to have carve out that time to not be a like tied to a schedule all the time. I feel like there's that. Like your purpose is to find more balance with that. And I do feel like there is a hobby like activity that you like. I feel like you really light up and you feel very excited with that. I'm hearing it simplified, Francis, and that is to anchor joy onto this planet. Be an inspiration for the vibration of joy by doing what it is that you love that will share light with others and inspire other people to live more authentically and to enjoy life. Like being human, like we overlook being human. We gloss over, yeah, I'm human. But we chose to be here, and there are certain human experiences like eating delicious food, listening to beautiful music. And I feel like that's part of your purpose is to really to embrace the sensory experience of being on this planet. Like it's a lot of Taurus energy, Venus energy, being very like the tangible part of being human. That's your purpose at this time, to acknowledge and embrace the beautiful things like that you can see with your eyes, and it's tied in with the physical experience and your physical body, like your experience on this planet, and then the sensory experience of being a human. So listening to beautiful music or the sounds or the voice of a loved one, seeing the sunrise, the sunset, feeling the love or the excitement about doing something you love, knowing that a lot of your needs are taken care of, and also knowing that clear cognizance of your path, and that you can hear your guides and you can hear spirit, and then the feeling, the clairsentient part of of that feeling. So the knowing, there was the clear knowing, the clear cognizance, knowing you're connected and just knowing some things when you're on the right path. And then the feeling of the sharing of emotions and the sentiment with other people and having those experience. Then we're also going to talk about the tasting the delicious foods, and just the savory and the sweetness. And then the smells, like the beautiful aromas of flowers or fresh cut grass or the rain. Like I feel like that's your purpose at this time. So I went into this whole flowery thing, but I do believe that is what spirit is suggesting that you do more so these days. So your card is the four of, I think these are, oh no, four of wands, excuse me. These are the wands. This is the four of wands. So this is about balance and enjoying all of those, the experiences, as I mentioned. There is a balance that's coming in. I think I did mention balance for you before. All right. So, oh, look, at the time's 11 o'clock already. Wow, time goes by fast. Let me go back here and wait a moment to see if there is a response from Francis. So enjoy this. So you won't have to work too hard to figure it out, because it will be mapped out for you. Yes, you're welcome. Balance, sensory experience as well, right? Sensory. Being human, we're right, we think about, oh, human, I just want to have all of the spiritual experiences, but there's some really beautiful experiences to be had on this planet that crossed over loved ones, or like, gosh, I'm so jealous, I miss this, I miss that. Okay. All right, my friends. So I thank you all for tuning in today, and thank you for being here, sharing your light, being who you are, doing your best on this planet. and adding to more of the positive, loving experiences here on this planet in this time. And we need more light workers. I'm not just using that as a mystical term, but there are many light workers, people who are intentionally doing their best to be authentic and live a healthy life, an inspiring life, and doing good by others. And through that, we inspire others. And Donna says, wow, that was great. I'm excited for Francis. Well, there's no reason why you couldn't do that too, my friend. All of us, right? I think that's a message for all of us, right? To be here in this. And Francis, you've worked very hard throughout your life, and you deserve to enjoy life, right? Even when we're in the thick of it, we forget about that. We work towards a goal. We work towards a certain amount of money for security. But in the in-between time, let's not just forget that we can live right now, because you will never be the age you are right now, right? So why not? This is a moment in time that it's gone already. See what I just said? It's gone already. So let's try to be intentional, try not to get too far ahead of ourselves with this upcoming week, right? And all of these celestial cosmic experiences. And don't forget your self-care rituals as well. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And so have a blessed weekend. I look forward to seeing you next week. And again, you can check with the Facebook pages, the YouTube pages, the Instagram. Well, I don't think I posted on Instagram beforehand, but and the newsletters, because that will show the schedule of when I plan to go live next week. As of right now, I do have intentions to be live next Friday. You never know, things can pop up, but I will send out that newsletter and I will post it as an event. You're welcome, Francis. You've worked a lifetime and need to slow down and smell the roses. That's right, my friend. Smell the roses and admire their beauty. All right. Have a great weekend. Take care, my friends. Namaste. Bye-bye.